Bobby, she's about to post a link. Post a link on your Facebook page and on Jamie's Facebook page. This is live.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it right there in front of that camera.
What's that?
I'm gonna stick this right here in front of that camera. But not where it's in his way. I want to put it right here in the middle.
You want to just ask him if you can put it in front of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That guy, right?
Yeah.
How's it going? If I keep this low out of your way, is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was aware somebody might be coming.
Yeah.
So right now I'm zoomed in pretty good on the stage.
Okay.
A little later.
Well, this is 360, and it's broadcasting live on her Facebook page right now, so it should be good.
Awesome.
All right? I think.
They're on as good as they can.
On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Alfonso R. Adams, 561st Network Operations Squadron Commander, and the men and women of the United States Air Force, welcome to today's retirement ceremony for Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez, following 23 plus years of honorable service. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and the singing of the national anthem by Captain Toby Parker.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we fought were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I would now like to introduce today's presiding official, Lieutenant Colonel Alfonso Adams.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Here.
Happy Friday! Woo woo!
So first, Hernandez, thank you so much for asking me to do this. I really appreciate it. This might be the first retirement ceremony where I expect to hang out from the audience. So when I was thinking through, kind of what to say on Sergeant Hernandez's retirement, I wanted to address this to the most important person from my perspective, and that's Christian. Christian, you're a special young man. Not only are you a military kid, but you're a military kid twice to both parents. That means twice the joy, twice the experience, twice the sacrifice, and twice the commitment. And for this reason, I want to spend just a few moments telling you how awesome your mother has been as a parent. Like many Californians, your mom spent time exploring her passions. She worked as a stocker of audiobooks at an audiobook store, back when audiobooks were on tape and CD. She held countless administrative jobs as a temporary employee, and then she managed a Surf City Squeeze, a smoothie bar in Long Beach. And by her early 20s, she was experimenting with photography. She didn't have it all figured out, but was willing to try it all. As she told it, she found herself in the Air Force recruiter's office, on her way to McDonald's with a friend. Seriously, her friend said something along the lines of, "I'm going to enlist in the Air Force." And your mom said, "Sure, me too," right after. But she took the enlistment test, scored well, and was ready to enlist. But the first challenge was picking a job. Her recruiter offered her an administrative job, but having done that work before, she was not interested. But she was still somewhat passionate, maybe, about photography. So Christian life can be funny sometimes. Let's say you like football. You show up to a new school, you meet your new counselor, and you say, "I like football." And then your counselor thinks something along the lines of like, football, there's a ball, there's running, passes, and tackling. Wait, tackling. Tackling's kind of like wrestling. Let's make you a wrestler. Then you find yourself in tights with ear pads in the gym, wrestling somehow, and it's definitely not football, but you make the most of it. This is essentially what happened to your mom. Your mom turned down the administrative job in the Air Force, but she said to the recruiter, "Well, I like photography." And the recruiter, who was an aircraft maintainer, thought, photography, photographs, pictures, lenses. You know what else has lenses? Cameras and sensors on aircraft. So she told your mom that she's going to a job that was just like photography, because there were cameras. And your mom lightly smiled and left for basic training as an old 24-year-old, excited for her photography job in the Air Force. Except your mom was not going to be a photographer. The recruiter may have stretched the truth a little, but your mom was entering an amazing career as a 2 Alpha 1X1 for an avionics sensor maintainer. She was responsible for maintaining, repairing, inspecting, and supervising maintenance actions on the Air Force's most sophisticated avionics sensors. Think terrain following radar and navigation computers, allowing F-15s and F-16s and C-130s to fly 250 feet from the ground, over mountains, through canyons at night to go bomb a target. All this would be done out on the airfield, exposed to all the elements of hot and cold, rain and sun, and shine. And your mom was good. At her first assignment at Cannon, her supervisor called her a superior technician. She single-handedly analyzed complex wire diagrams to find problems in 2 electronic circuit boards. Then she fixed them, not by ordering a new part, but by actually soldering new parts onto those circuit boards. She saved the Air Force $34,000 that day by herself. She was also Mrs. Claus at the squadron's holiday party. Next, your mom moved to Mildenhall in England, where she became known as the Whatever It Takes Airman. She deployed to Incirlik Air Base in Turkey in 2001, shortly after September 11th, to support Operation Enduring Freedom, where she worked tirelessly to get combat aircraft airborne. She then deployed to Crete, Greece. But she kept the sensor system for Air Force Special Operation helicopters in impeccable order. And her system was singled out by the aircraft commander as the contributing factor during a personnel recovery operation with the Hellenic Air Force. Her boss called her the most motivated airman. Then your mom moved to Nellis. She decided to retrain because the avionics sensor maintenance career was merging with another career field with lesser responsibilities. And because your mom was so high speed, she wanted to use her intellect and skill to continue to fix problems once and for all. So she became a 3 Charlie OX1, a network systems operator, where everything is on fire and problems are answered. But she excelled. She was the top graduate from technical school. She was the 99th Communications Squadron's Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, the best NCO in the entire squadron. She placed in the top third of her age group in the Las Vegas Half Marathon. She was responsible for the successful execution of 23,000 combat training missions at the Air Force's most advanced air training school. And you were born, changing her life forever. She was now an airman, an NCO, and a mom. And your mom was really good. At her next assignment in Ramstein, she became a senior non-commissioned officer and managed the Air Force's intelligence network all over Europe. She deployed again, this time to Djibouti in Africa, to support Air Force, Navy, and Marine operations to combat piracy off the coast of the Horn of Africa. She worked issues to ensure that the Marines and their Osprey aircraft could conduct classified operations. And she supported Air Force rescue operations for humanitarian relief missions all over Africa. And after she returned, she worked combat communications, leading the weapons armory section and revising the combat readiness course to prepare airmen for the challenges of combat. She was, and I quote, a tenacious problem solver. By 2013, your mom had moved 4 times, deployed 3 times, and changed jobs. She was a great airman, but her passion for changing. After being helped by a first sergeant previously, your mom wanted to take the challenge of being a diamond-wearing first sergeant. So what did that mean? So essentially, your mom was the commander's key advisor on readiness, health and morale, welfare and quality of life for airmen and families. The one-stop shop for problem resolution. She was a parent, a confidant, a counselor, a helper, a fixer, a mentor. She was a shirt. So after moving to Gunner Annex, Alabama, a place she could not find on the map, your mom became a first sergeant in 2015 for a total of 6 years, spanning both Alabama and Colorado. In that time, your mom issued no contact orders to keep airmen safe, responded to help airmen and spouses who were contemplating suicide, provided care for a family whose child was shot, walked with military families through challenging pregnancies, cleared obstacles to medical care for airmen and families, responded to issues of domestic violence, sought care for victims of assault, assisted airmen through medical boards, secured humanitarian relief for families during difficult times, and she helped this squadron, the 561st Network Operations Squadron, survive the COVID pandemic. She was Space Forces Group First Sergeant of the Year, and strangely enough was also credited with 23 enemy killed in action.
Good job.
Your mom was on call every day and night, for 6 years. And your mom was more than good. She was great. As we prepare to relieve your mom of her duties in the Air Force, we do so with a heavy heart. For 23 years, you, your mom, and your dad have been part of this team. You've endured the challenges of service and made substantial sacrifices. You are part of an exceptional family who have committed twice as much to this country. We are forever grateful. Master Sergeant Hernandez, thank you for your unwavering integrity, selfless service, and excellence in all you did. I look forward to seeing you in the pharmacy line at the conference.
Lieutenant Colonel Adams will now retire Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez. Attention to orders. The Department of the Air Force, Special Order Number AC-008426, dated 12 July 2022. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force, Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez is relieved from her active duty responsibilities, effective 31 December 2022. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of January 2023, signed Charles Q. Brown, General, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and James V. Hewitt, Colonel, Commander, 688 Cyberspace Wing, Lackland Air Force Base, Texas. Just one moment, please. And this thing out of my script.
She's retired.
Colonel Adams might have taken it. Apologies,
You didn't memorize it?
ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal to Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal, 4th Oak Leaf Cluster, to Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez for outstanding service, 8 July 2020 to 31 December 2022. Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez distinguished herself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States while assigned to the 561st Network Operations Squadron, 690th Cyberspace Operations Group, 688th Cyberspace Wing, Peterson Space Force Base, Colorado. During this period, Sergeant Hernandez completed her first sergeant tenure, where she advised 5 commanders on morale and welfare for over 161 military personnel across 14 Air Force specialties. Furthermore, Sergeant Hernandez's guidance was critical while supporting members during 2 suicidal ideations and 3 domestic violence cases. She provided vital treatment and recovery plans for each member, ultimately returning all 5 members to full duty status in support of executing Air Force operations. Additionally, Sergeant Hernandez seamlessly returned to the cybersecurity career field, where she led a team of 12 professionals in coordinating network certification packages. She drove her team to elevate over 1,200 network controls and ensured the security and availability of the data center valued at $6 million. Moreover, Sergeant Hernandez oversaw the sustainment of the $612 million cybersecurity and control system weapon system, enabling services for 900,000 users, 850,000 devices, and the unit's $120 million facility. Finally, Sergeant Hernandez's tireless dedication to taking care of airmen garnered her the group's first Sergeant of the Year award in 2020. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Hernandez culminate a distinguished career in the service of her country and reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. We now have 5 certificates of appreciation that we would like to present. The first reads, please, not to stand for all clear. Certificate of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez, I extend my personal gratitude and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation to you and your patriotic service to our country. Your bravery and dedication in our armed forces helped protect your fellow airmen during a critical moment in our history and contributed to a world of greater security and prosperity. Your devotion to duty, honor, and country, in keeping with the long traditions of the finest military in the world, embodied the American ideal of selfless service. Our nation owes you an incredible debt. Your commitment and the example you set will inspire future generations to serve with pride and to keep our country secure. You represent the best of our nation, and I join our fellow Americans in saluting your honorable service. I wish you happiness and success in your next chapter. Signed, Joe R. Biden Jr., Commander-in-Chief. The second reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez, the achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of our great service. Your retirement is well deserved, but your selfless contributions will be sorely missed. On behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter in your life closes and a new one begins, I hope the years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Given on this first day of January 2023, signed, Joanne S. Bass, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Hernandez to come forward. Certificate of Appreciation. Certificate of Appreciation for the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents a certificate of recognition to Bobby Hernandez for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts on the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Given this first day of January 2023, signed Charles Q. Brown, General, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and James B. Hewitt, Colonel, Commander, 688 Cyber Space Wing, Black America 46. I would also like to take this moment to read a personal letter of appreciation to Mr. Bobby Hernandez. Certificate of Appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. On behalf of all Air Force airmen and their families, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force presents this to Bobby Hernandez. I join your spouse, family, and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifices you made in support of our United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service in defense of our nation. Given this first day of January 2023. Signed, Joanne S. Bass, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. At this time, I would like to invite Christian Hernandez to come forward. I would like to read a personal letter of appreciation to Christian Hernandez. This is to certify that Christian I. Hernandez has earned grateful appreciation for his unselfish and devoted service on the occasion of the retirement of his mother, Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez, from military service with the United States Air Force. His unfailing support and understanding of his mother's commitment helped make possible her lasting contribution to the nation. Signed, Colonel James B. Hewitt, Commander, 688 Cyberspace Wing. Now, every retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their active duty service. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Hernandez to place this pin on his wife's lapel to symbolize transition from active duty to retired status. Thank you, Christian and Bobby. Ladies and gentlemen, this American flag has been folded to honor the retirement of Master Sergeant Jamie Hernandez for her 23 plus years of service and contributions to the United States Air Force. I would now like to invite Senior Master Sergeant Brady to come forward to lead the diamond formation.
Yeah.
Master Sergeant Hernandez, First Sergeants across Space Base Delta 1 have come together to honor you in the best way that they know how. They would like to present you with a final diamond formation. In all the Air Force, there are only 3 special identifiers affixed to any rank insignia. This holds true for both officer and enlisted. The eagle and wreath from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, the star for the Command Chief, and the diamond of the First Sergeant. Master Sergeant Hernandez, you proudly wore the diamond on your sleeve for 6 long years. Now it's time to have one imprinted on your hearts. First Sergeants, prepare to form the diamond. The 17th century Persian Army Feldwell appears to be the starting point for the First Sergeant. Standing at the top of the non-commissioned hierarchy of rank, he was the overseer of all the company's enlisted personnel. During the American Revolution in 1779, Inspector General Frederick von Steuben set forth the duties of the First Sergeant: to be intimately acquainted with the character of every soldier of the company and impress upon their minds the indispensable necessity of the strictest obedience. Throughout American history, military leaders have viewed the First Sergeant as a key to the development of good company. The order and discipline of the troops, their care and well-being have always been the focal point of the First Sergeant's job. The First Sergeant is easily distinguishable from the other enlisted ranks by the diamond in the center of their chevrons. The distinguished mark has its beginnings in the 1830s, where the First Sergeant wore a red sash around his waist. In 1847, Army regulations authorized the wear of chevrons on the fatigues of non-commissioned officers. It also authorized the loosenage of French diamonds to designate the First Sergeant. Indications are that this was a first appearance in the diamond as an insignia device. The chevrons have changed over the years, from their beginnings in the Army Air Corps to the look of today's Air Force, but the one constant has been the distinguishable diamond denoting the position of the First Sergeant. Today, you will recognize a First Sergeant by a twinkle in their eye to lighten up everything that is going on. Firm shoulders for leaning on and carrying problems. Eyes in the back of their head for seeing everything that is going on. Strong hands to lead and guide. A tough body that can endure all types of stress and keep smiling. Worry and wrinkles in the brow from care and concern for people. A longing behind the smile from loneliness because people only see them as the shirt. The one to stay away from, the one to be feared. Master Sergeant Hernandez, you are one of us, and you will be missed. And remember, diamonds are forever. First Sergeants dismissed.
Thank you, First Sergeant Council. That was an honor.